think you were live.
Okay. It's the Senate Education Committee, May 8th, 2:30 after floor. We're going to spend time today, a little bit more time today on page 480, the miscellaneous debt bill. But first, we're going to hear a report, a confirmation report from Senator Weeks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I was assigned Jason Malucci, who was nominated by the governor for the UVM Board of Trustees. This is the same Jason Malucci that we see in the building every day. He's the governor's, Governor Scott's Director of Policy Development and Legislative Affairs now. This is, because he actually started about a month and a half ago or so. This would be his first term. And just a very quick professional bio going backwards. So he's currently Legislative Affairs, has been since January for Governor Scott. Prior to that, he was the 2024 campaign manager for the governor. Prior to that, he was his press secretary and policy advisor for 3 years for the governor. Prior to that, he was his 2020 campaign manager. And prior to that, he was a governor's manager of appointments. And now we're leading back very close to his graduation from university. But just after university, he was a deputy campaign manager in 2018, and he also served briefly on the governor's staff right after graduation. Education, he's a 2017 UVM graduate with a BA in political science and economics. He was somewhat related to this nomination, the UVM student government president, but for 2 years, which is kind of unusual for an undergrad to have a position like that for 2 years. So he was apparently quite well liked. This didn't come from Jason, this came from others in the university at the time. He lives in Essex Junction. And from my perspective in conversations with him about this nomination, he's obviously got a good background on UVM, very good and deep mirrors. Couple that with his political awareness in the state. And so I personally feel he's a good addition to a rather large trustee body, and I support his nomination.
Oh, this is asking you to be a trustee. Yeah, that's kind of, yes.
So if I can, I would move that we support Jason Malucci's nomination again to the UVM Board of Trustees. And we would need a vote tally. Okay. All that what you gave? Yeah. Give me my vote. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you want to see if there's any additional, any questions or. Okay.
Great work.
Senator Hashim.
Yes.
Heffernan.
Yes.
Graham Dinsdale. Senator Weeks. Yes. Terry Williams. Yes. Senator Longer.
Yes.
Senator Greg Winsdale. 5-0-1. Need a report, right? Senator Weeks. Yes.
That should have been Senator.
I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
No
I was thinking, I forgot to say it.
No worries.
But Melissa shows up before I'll give her this package.
Yeah.
Everyone's respected. UVM trustee, right? Board trustee.
Except for a 4-year term, what's that?
Oh, that's good first.
Yes, sir. So that.
Sure.
Six-year term.
Nope.
the issue with, let's say, this Bloomberg picture.
We are looking at, I think, version 12.1.
Yeah.
Of 848. Well, you tell us, but I think we're down to just the last section, right?
Yes, Beth St. James Office of Legislative Counsel. There have been some very minor changes other than the last section since we last looked at this. So again, draft 12.1 of your proposal of amendment to H 480. It has yesterday's date on it. The changes are, and again, my highlighting skills are on display again. Cardiac emergency response plans. I'm on page 22, section 13. The only change here is the statute number. I moved it into the emergency operations plan chapter. So this is just the next available number. But there were no other substantive changes to this section. Section.
Like 26, 27.
So yep, that's section 14 on page 25.
Right. Yep.
Lines 8 and 9 requires school districts and independent schools to have an emergency action plan developed and ready for implementation beginning in the 2026-2027 school year. And then if you go to the very end to the effective date section on page 29, I've also updated the section that requires implementation. That piece of session law with the school year date in it would take effect on July 1, 2025, section 14. But section 13, the actual plans, would take effect July 1, 2026. And then the only other changes are to the last section, section 17. I was not able to get in contact with Jennifer Samuelson. So I added some language based on your conversation yesterday for you to consider, because it's easier for me to take out language than to add it on the fly. So I added the modifier therapeutic in front of independent schools. I've changed, instead of I'm on page 28, line 14, instead of referring to a range of section numbers, I just refer to the subchapter. It's just a little cleaner in the corporation's title that the reorganization would occur under. And then the substantive new language really occurs on between lines 15 and 17. The approval, so my understanding was there was a request to not leave anyone in limbo, that while if the state board, it's still unclear to me if the state board is actually going to require a new application. That was one of the reasons I felt it was important for me to reach out to the state board. But if the state board were to require a new application, I'm hoping that this language, which reads, the approval of any such for-profit therapeutic independent school shall extend until the board acts on approval of the new nonprofit therapeutic independent school. So approval of the school as it was a for-profit would continue until the new application is approved. Took this language directly from the State Board of Education rule series, specifically rule 2224.5, which is called continued approval. And it reads, approval of a school completing a timely application for further approval shall extend until the board acts on further approval. So I just took those words and put them in here. And I hope that this does the trick, but without actually conferring with the state board, I can't guarantee you that the language achieves what I think it achieves. Oh, and I've been acting like I've been sharing my screen this whole time. Do you want me to share my screen?
That's okay. We have all our copies and it's posted, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just for logistics and timeline. And I think it's probably would be able to get a response between today and Tuesday. We come back and then Tuesday, be on the notice calendar.
Well, actually today and tomorrow, right? Because
Oh,
tomorrow,
right,
Yeah.
right, today's Thursday.
Yeah.
I put it off today all week.
yeah.
Feels like things.
Yeah. They all kind of blend together, but disregard, I said.
But no, what's the point still well taken?
Yeah.
We could, um, for, it doesn't answer the question being raised, but I will tell you, and I got permission to say that I talked to the secretary, and the secretary, in terms of is in favor of what we are trying to achieve. Obviously, that's all that adds to it. So the agency is in favor of the goal, but not necessarily the language. So, do you have something you wanted to add?
Sure.
So for the record,
For the record, Jolie Frechette, representing the middle school. Thank you very much for incorporating this language. After speaking with our team, we were just wondering if, just sort of adding to the language a little bit, just to sort of clarify a little bit further that for any such nonprofit therapeutic independent school actively converting to a nonprofit therapeutic independent school shall maintain its approval status. So for them just maintaining in there that during this process of converting, that the approval moves forward, I feel like it's just sort of ties it up maybe a little bit more. But
so I have to say the language as it reads seems pretty clear to me.
okay.
I concur.
Why, why don't we take a break and see if you happen to be able to get,
I don't have personal contact
Oh, I do.
information for
I do.
her.
you do. Why don't we go offline